Dr. Shannon, let's talk about silver fillings, the old silver fillings. And there's controversy out there. Most dentists don't put silver fillings anymore in it, which is fine. It's one story. But there's the controversy about the silver fillings, the millions and millions of silver fillings which are still in people's mouth. Should they come out? Should they stay in? Are there reasons why they should come out? Go ahead and give us your take on it.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't like the word silver filling, although I grew up on it too. It makes you feel like you have silver in your mouth. And that's not the case at all. There is silver in those fillings.
That's why I'm asking about taking them out, because it's $30 an ounce right now. How much did you put in for every one? 2 ounces, 5 ounces, a kilo? How much is in my mouth?
I don't know. It depends how much you've been brushing over the years. But I'll tell you, though, they're not silver. They're silver in color. And we used to call them silver fillings. I remember as a child being told, you're getting a silver filling, but they're not silver. And the problem with the filling, from just an informational standpoint, is when it's mixed, it's proportionally mixed in such a way that 52% of that filling is mercury. Now, mercury is what's known as a heavy metal, and another heavy metal that a lot of people know about is mercury. Is lead. So lead and mercury are two heavy metals that people are familiar with. So you look into, and you can go online, obviously people go online, they use the internet for all kinds of great things, dental things especially. You go online and you look that up and you find out what those heavy metal things are, and you'll find out that government and industry and all kinds of people are against heavy metal. They're illegal to be used in many, many circumstances, and you can't just go out and take it and dump it down a drain because you'll get fined for that. It can't go into the ocean. So we certainly don't want it in our fish. We don't want it floating around on our floors. We don't want our children touching it and handling it. We don't even want our dentists handling it by hand anymore. So it's not something that's good. When it goes into your body, it goes into certain organs and causes damage. Some of the damage is reversible if it's caught in time. Some of the damage is not reversible. Lead paints, as you know, are no longer around. Children used to eat them, and they would get brain disease from heavy metal poisoning. So there's a lot of things that happen with that. Now, you take that information and you put it into dentistry. Now, the Dental Association says, and they haven't changed their stand on it, that as dentists, we're not allowed to say that this is not healthy. They say that there's no real proof, there's no concrete information to say that it's not healthy to take this mercury and put it in your mouth. If we do it, we can get in a lot of trouble. So you're really not going to find any dentist, unless he's a real maverick, you're not going to find any dentist who is going to say something that goes against the people that are allowing him to have a license, because nobody wants to lose their license over a statement. The industry itself, the people that make it, are still making it because they don't want to be responsible if the word goes out that you should replace it. They don't want to have to say that it's their fault for making it, and therefore they have to pay to have these things replaced. The insurance companies, who are paying a lot of the bill in dentistry today, not a great amount, but a lot of the bill on these fillings, they're saying that they're not going to pay for it if you say you're changing it for cosmetic purposes or medical purposes. You can only change it to a newer material if there's something wrong with the old filling, if there's a catch on it, or if there's a break in it, or something is mechanically wrong with it. So nobody wants to take responsibility. So personally, I'm not going to jump in with both feet into the middle of this battlefield that's going on right now. But I will say one thing, that the person who has fillings in their mouth, the American consumer who is in the middle of all this, is absolutely the person who's getting the short end of the stick. Because there's really nobody out there in a mass way that's standing up for his rights and protecting him. So, with that said, now I'll speak for myself. I have no metal fillings left. I had a mouthful of them as a child. I was a real candy eater, so I had tons of them. I had them all removed. My family has none of them in their mouths. and I haven't placed one in over 15 years.
I guess that kind of like in whatever direct or indirect way, you're telling us stay away from them. Obviously don't do them. And most dentists don't put new ones in it. So if you see a patient coming in having a silver filling, is it a given you replace it, or you kind of look at like how well that filling is, that amalgam filling, that, you know, not silver, you don't like that word, fine.
Right.
How you know, if it's there, it's good, there seems to be no whatever shrinkage. Anyway, it's fitting, you know. Would you like put in an observation and leave it in, or would you, Jim, let's take it out? Let's not take the risk.
I would not take it out just because it's there. I only take out fillings that are broken down or show some kind of fault in them, where the tooth can be damaged more. I look at it from a tooth standpoint. Now, if this person has a mouthful of them and they don't want them anymore and they want them replaced, I certainly don't mind replacing them. I will bring it to their attention that if they want to have them replaced for cosmetic reasons, that it can be done, but the fillings that are in there are healthy and seem to be okay. And I have no way of testing if any of this vapor, this mercury vapor, has gone to their brain. I have no way of testing if this vapor has gone to their liver. Now, a doctor, if they go for a yearly checkup and they're concerned about mercury poisoning, I guess you'd call it, for lack of a nicer term, they could have it checked. I have a friend of mine who ate sushi every day, lived on a boat here in Santa Monica, and he lived in the water, and he fished in the water in Santa Monica Bay, and he ate the fish every day. And after a year, he had high levels, he had toxic levels of mercury, and he was told by his physician that in that year he consumed too much mercury, so he no longer eats fish. And the doctor said that within 1 to 2 year period of time, because they caught it early enough, it would go out of his system. So there are obviously ways of testing to see if you have mercury levels that are not, acceptable. Okay. So if a person has a concern, that's the way to go, not, necessarily taking out fillings. Okay?
Wonderful. All right. Very informative, like always, Dr. Shannon. You're not holding back. You're telling the way you see it. And
that's the only way to go. People come to me for my honesty, and I try to give them my honesty.
All right, and you have a beautiful knack for giving great background information, which I think is useful to some people. I'm sure people will learn, and I hope this whole series was useful to them. Thanks a lot, Dr. Shannon.
You're very welcome.